What if Helen's beauty, Mary's tragedy, and Washington's leadership could be seen through today's eyes? In this video, we're unlocking the past like never before, merging original artworks with AI-enhanced recreations of iconic historical figures like Helen of Troy, Mary, Queen of Scots, and George Washington. As we reveal their gripping stories, you'll see the past in vivid modern detail. Whether you're drawn to myth, royalty, or revolution, this is history reborn, and unlike anything you've seen before. Giovanni di Bicci de' Medici, 15th century portrait digital sculpture. The portrait of Giovanni di Bicci de' Medici shows a man who doesn't look like a king or a warrior, but quietly built one of the most powerful empires in Renaissance Italy. Painted in the 15th century, this posthumous depiction captures the founder of the Medici Bank, who lived from 1360 to 1429. The painting is a valuable example of Italian Renaissance art and is part of the Uffizi Gallery's extensive collection, which also includes works by Bronzino and other notable artists. Born around 1360, Giovanni wasn't born into wealth or power. He was from a lesser branch of the Medici family, respectable but far from elite. That changed in 1397 when he founded the Medici Bank. Under his leadership, it didn't just grow, it thrived, eventually becoming the Bank of the Pope himself. Suddenly, Giovanni wasn't just a banker. He was the quiet architect behind a future empire. But what makes him fascinating is that Giovanni never acted like a prince. He lived modestly, dressed simply, and urged his sons to keep a low profile. He also pushed for fairer taxes in Florence, an unheard-of move for someone with his wealth. And behind the scenes, he quietly funded the very artists and architects who would launch the Renaissance. While there are no known AI-generated renditions of Giovanni di Bicci de' Medici, a notable modern interpretation exists in the form of a 3D facial reconstruction by artist Curtis Durain. This digital sculpture offers a lifelike representation of Giovanni. Diane de Poitiers. The 16th century painting Diana the Huntress, attributed to the school of Fontainebleau, portrays a poised, nude figure with a crescent moon in her hair, accompanied by a stag and hounds. This is not merely a depiction of the Roman goddess Diana, but a symbolic representation of Diane de Poitiers, the influential mistress of King Henry II of France. In this artwork, Diane embodies both the allure and authority she wielded at court. Born in 1500, Diane de Poitiers became a central figure in the French Renaissance. Her intelligence and charm captivated Henry II, leading to a partnership that extended beyond romance into political and cultural influence. Diane was entrusted with significant responsibilities, including overseeing royal correspondence and managing estates. Her patronage of the arts and architecture is exemplified by the Château d'Anay, designed by Philibert de Lorme, which featured the renowned Fountain of Diana. In contemporary interpretations, AI-generated art reimagines Diane with modern aesthetics, her features rendered with digital precision, yet retaining the grace and strength that defined her legacy. These renditions bridge the past and present, highlighting the enduring fascination with a woman who seamlessly blended beauty, intellect, and power. Edward IV. The oil-on-panel portrait of King Edward IV, housed in the National Portrait Gallery, presents a solemn figure in a dark cap and richly adorned tunic, holding a white rose, the emblem of the House of York. Painted circa 1540 by an unknown English artist, this posthumous work is part of a series depicting English monarchs, reflecting the Tudor era's interest in royal lineage and legitimacy. Born in 1442, Edward IV ascended the throne in 1461 during the tumultuous Wars of the Roses. His reign was marked by military prowess, notably at the Battle of Towton, and political acumen in consolidating power. Despite challenges, including a brief deposition, Edward reclaimed the crown and ruled until he died in 1483. In contemporary interpretations, AI-generated art reimagines Edward IV with modern aesthetics, his features rendered with digital precision, yet retaining the regal presence that defined his legacy. These renditions bridge the past and present, offering a renewed perspective on a monarch whose impact on English history remains significant. Timur, also known as Tamerlane. The 17th century engraving of Timur, known in the West as Tamerlane, captures the imposing figure of the Turco-Mongol conqueror seated with a stern gaze and regal posture. This artwork reflects the European fascination with Timur's formidable legacy. Born in the 1320s near Kesh in the Chagatai Khanate, Timur rose from modest beginnings to establish the Timurid Empire, which spanned across Central Asia and the Middle East. Renowned for his military genius, he was undefeated in battle and known for his ruthless campaigns, including the devastating sack of Delhi in 1398. In modern times, AI-generated art reimagines Timur with contemporary aesthetics. One such rendition by Coder Plus Designer portrays him with piercing eyes and a commanding presence, blending historical authenticity with modern artistic techniques. These modern interpretations bridge the past and present, offering a renewed perspective on a ruler whose impact on history remains profound. Joan of Arc. The 1903 portrait of Joan of Arc by Albert Lynch captures a serene yet resolute young woman, clad in armor, gazing directly at the viewer. Her short dark hair frames a determined face, while she holds her white banner, a symbol of divine guidance and national pride. Set against a backdrop of white lilies, emblematic of purity and France itself, Lynch's depiction has become one of the most recognized images of the Maid of Orleans. Born around 1412 in Domremy, France, Joan claimed to receive visions from saints instructing her to support Charles VII and recover France from English domination during the Hundred Years' War. At just 17, she persuaded the Dauphin to let her lead an army to the besieged city of Orleans, achieving a pivotal victory. Her subsequent efforts led to Charles VII's coronation at Reims. Captured in 1430, Joan was tried for heresy and burned at the stake in 1431. She was canonized in 1920, becoming a symbol of courage and faith. In a modern reinterpretation, AI artist The Sanctuaire presents Joan with ethereal beauty and strength. Clad in gleaming armor, her visage reflects both youthful innocence and unwavering determination, bridging historical reverence with contemporary artistry. Livia Drusilla. The marble portrait of Livia Drusilla, housed in the Musei Capitolini in Rome, offers a glimpse into the visage of one of ancient Rome's most influential women. Carved during the Tiberian Age, 1437 AD, this sculpture portrays Livia with the dignified poise befitting her status as empress. Her hair is styled in the conservative notice fashion, and her features exude a serene authority, reflecting the Roman ideal of feminine virtue. This portrait underscores her role not just as Augustus's wife, but as a paragon of Roman matronly virtues. Born on January 30th, 59 BC, Livia Drusilla was the daughter of Marcus Livius Drusus Claudianus. She first married Tiberius Claudius Nero, with whom she had 2 sons, including the future emperor Tiberius. In 38 BC, she married Octavian, later known as Augustus, becoming his trusted advisor and confidant. Livia was known for her intelligence, political acumen, and dedication to her family's legacy. After Augustus's death in AD 14, she continued to exert political influence as the mother of the emperor until her death in AD 29. She was deified by her grandson, Emperor Claudius, in AD 42. In a modern reinterpretation, AI-generated art reimagines Livia Drusilla with contemporary aesthetics. One such rendition portrays her in traditional Roman attire, exuding the same poised demeanor and subtle strength that defined her role in Roman history. Henry II of France. The 1559 portrait of Henry II of France, attributed to the workshop of François Clouet, captures the monarch in his regal prime. Clad in ornate ceremonial armor, Henry's visage exudes authority and determination. This portrait, produced the year of his untimely death, reflects the Renaissance ideal of kingship, blending martial prowess with cultured elegance. Born in 1519 at the Château de Saint-Germain-en-Laye, Henry was the second son of Francis I and Claude of Brittany. Following his elder brother's death, he became Dauphin and later ascended the throne in 1547. His reign was marked by continued conflicts in the Italian Wars and a fervent campaign against Protestantism, exemplified by the Edict of Chateaubriand in 1551, which intensified the persecution of Huguenots. Henry's court was a beacon of Renaissance culture. He commissioned the transformation of the Palace of Fontainebleau, enlisting artists like Francesco Primaticcio to infuse Italian Mannerist aesthetics into French art. Tragically, Henry's life ended following a jousting accident during celebrations for the Peace of Cateau-Cambrésis. A lance fragment from Gabriel de Montgomery pierced his eye, leading to his death 10 days later. His demise ushered in a period of instability, with his son's successive reigns and the intensification of the French Wars of Religion. George Washington. The 1796 Athenaeum portrait by Gilbert Stuart captures George Washington in a moment of poised dignity. With his powdered hair, solemn gaze, and understated attire, Washington embodies the ideals of leadership and republican virtue. This unfinished painting became the basis for the image on the U.S. $1 bill, cementing its place in American iconography. Born in 1732 in Westmoreland County, Virginia, Washington rose from modest beginnings to become the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army during the American Revolutionary War. His leadership was pivotal in securing American independence, culminating in the British surrender at Yorktown in 1781. In 1789, he was unanimously elected as the nation's first president, setting precedents for the office that endured to this day. He declined a third term, emphasizing the importance of peaceful transitions of power. In a contemporary AI rendition, Washington is reimagined as a modern statesman. His visage is youthful, yet retains the gravity of his historical role. Dressed in a tailored navy suit with subtle colonial accents, he stands against a backdrop of the Capitol, symbolizing the enduring legacy of the republic he helped establish. Mary, Queen of Scots. The 1578 portrait of Mary, Queen of Scots, attributed to Nicholas Hilliard, captures a monarch ensnared in political turmoil. Painted during her 10th year of captivity in England, Mary is depicted in somber attire, clutching a rosary with a cross bearing the letter S, a nod to her Stuart lineage. The enameled scene of Susanna and the elders on the cross, accompanied by the Latin motto, "Troubles on all sides," underscores her plight. Born in 1542, Mary ascended to the Scottish throne as an infant. Her life was marked by a series of tumultuous events. A brief marriage to Francis II of France, the controversial union with Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley, whose subsequent murder led to her marriage with James Hepburn, Earl of Bothwell. These alliances, coupled with political unrest, forced her abdication in favor of her son James VI. Seeking refuge, she fled to England only to be imprisoned by her cousin Elizabeth I. After 19 years in captivity, Mary was executed in 1587 for alleged involvement in plots against Elizabeth. NPG. In a contemporary AI rendition, Mary is reimagined with a blend of historical authenticity and modern sensibility. Her visage retains the delicate features and regal poise of Hilliard's original, but with enhanced clarity and depth. Dressed in a minimalist, earth-toned ensemble, she stands against a subdued backdrop, symbolizing her enduring legacy and the timeless intrigue surrounding her life. Helen of Troy. Evelyn de Morgan's 1898 painting Helen of Troy reimagines the legendary beauty not as a seductress but as a contemplative figure ensnared by fate. Clad in flowing pink robes, Helen gazes into a mirror reflecting Aphrodite, the goddess of love, while surrounded by doves and white roses, symbols of peace and purity. The distant silhouette of Troy on the horizon alludes to the catastrophic war ignited by her abduction or elopement with Paris. In Greek mythology, Helen, daughter of Zeus and Leda, was renowned for her unparalleled beauty. Her departure from Sparta with Paris led to the Trojan War, a tale immortalized in Homer's Iliad. De Morgan's portrayal challenges traditional narratives, presenting Helen as a passive figure caught in divine machinations rather than an agent of chaos. The AI rendition of Helen is envisioned with a blend of classical grace and modern sensibility. Her features are rendered with luminous clarity, her expression a mix of serenity and introspection. Draped in minimalist, earth-toned attire, she stands against a tranquil backdrop, embodying the timeless allure and complexity that have captivated imaginations for millennia. History speaks to us through faded portraits and ancient texts. windows into the lives of those who changed the world. But with modern technology, we can bring these figures back to life. From Mary, Queen of Scots' tragic reign to Giovanni de' Medici's influential rise, their stories and faces leap from the past. If this journey through time captivated you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time as we uncover more forgotten legends and untold stories from history.